Okay, so today we're going to be doing a deep dive into something pretty mind-blowing. We're talking about Google's AI co-scientist.
Wow, yeah.
And this thing aims to completely change how we do science.
That's right. Yeah, it's this idea of giving scientists a virtual partner, an AI that helps them navigate all this crazy research out there.
Yeah, there's so much of it.
So much. And on top of that, it even helps with the actual scientific process itself, like generating hypotheses, designing experiments.
So like a superpowered research assistant.
Exactly, one that never sleeps. And just think about it, with the amount of information published every single day.
And it's overwhelming.
Totally overwhelming for scientists to keep up.
Yeah, needing just connecting the dots between different fields.
Exactly. Remember the Nobel Prize in Chemistry back in 2020? That came from combining expertise in microbiology, genetics, and molecular biology.
Yeah.
Bringing all these different things together. And this AI co-scientist could be the key to unlocking even more of those aha moments.
So what exactly this AI co-scientist?
So at its core, it's a multi-agent AI system.
Okay.
Built on Google's Gemini 2.0 model.
Okay.
Think of it as a team of specialized agents all working together to basically mimic the scientific method.
Really?
Yeah. So you've got agents for generating ideas, critically evaluating those ideas, ranking them, refining them, and even connecting them to the real world, like actual lab experiments.
That's a lot for one AI to handle.
It is, but it's not just passively spitting out information. It's designed for back and forth collaboration with scientists.
So like an actual partner.
Exactly. Scientists can give it feedback, suggest their own ideas. It's a dynamic process.
So walk me through this. How does this whole scientific method in an AI thing actually work?
All right, so imagine this. The AI starts by generating research ideas and hypotheses.
Okay.
Then another part of the system acts as the critical thinker, looking for flaws, biases, like a built-in devil's advocate.
Okay.
Then a ranking system kicks in, prioritizing the most promising hypotheses based on stuff like potential impact, feasibility, novelty.
So it's like a whole team of scientists packed into one AI.
You got it. And it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
It can take those top-ranked hypotheses and actually try to improve them. Combining ideas, tweaking existing ones, exploring new angles based on feedback.
Wow.
It's a constant process of brainstorming and refining.
That is seriously impressive.
And to make sure it's not just living in this theoretical world, there's another agent that connects it all to the real world, considering existing research, data, experimental techniques.
How does this AI get so smart? It's not just reading Wikipedia all day, right?
Definitely not. It uses some really advanced techniques to improve its own thinking. One of these is test time compute scaling.
Okay.
Basically, it uses self-play debates.
Self-play debates?
Yeah, like different versions of the AI arguing with each other.
Oh, wow.
Presenting evidence, challenging each other's hypotheses.
Okay.
And there's a whole ranking system based on these debates.
So it's constantly competing with itself to get smarter.
Exactly. And all of this is geared towards creating hypotheses that are more likely to be accurate and impactful.
So how does it actually stack up against, real scientists?
Well, in tests, it's actually outperformed other AI models and even human experts on certain tasks.
Really?
But it's super important to remember that this is a tool. It's not a replacement for human scientists.
Right, because even the best AI can't replace things like intuition and creativity.
Exactly. Google is very open about that. They're working on improving things like literature review and fact-checking because human experts are still crucial for accuracy and avoiding bias.
Okay, so it's still under development, but it's already showing amazing potential. Has it actually been tested in real-world labs?
It has, and the results are super promising. They've validated it in 3 key areas. Drug repurposing, target discovery for liver fibrosis, and explaining antimicrobial resistance mechanisms.
Wow, so all really complex stuff with big implications for health.
Exactly, and these are just the first steps. There's so much more to explore.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. Let's break down these real-world tests a bit further, starting with drug repurposing. What's that all about?
So drug repurposing is all about finding new uses for existing drugs.
Okay.
It's much faster and cheaper than developing brand new drugs from scratch.
So instead of reinventing the wheel, we're seeing if an old wheel can be used for a new car.
Perfect analogy. And the AI co-scientist has actually proposed new uses for existing drugs to treat AML.
AML.
Acute myeloid leukemia. it's a type of blood cancer.
Oh, wow.
And get this, they tested these predictions in the lab.
Man.
The drugs actually inhibited tumor growth in AML cell lines.
Wait, so an AI helped identify potential new cancer treatments? That's incredible.
It is. And it's not just drug repurposing. They've also used it to identify new treatment targets for liver fibrosis.
Which is?
It's a condition that can lead to scarring and damage to the liver. The AI suggested targeting specific factors involved in gene regulation. And guess what? They tested these suggestions in lab-grown human liver models, and they worked.
So this AI is actually making tangible contributions to real-world research. That's amazing.
It is. And then there's the antimicrobial resistance part.
Okay, tell me about that one.
So the researchers gave the AI a challenge. They asked it to explain a mechanism of bacterial gene transfer that they had already discovered in their lab but hadn't published yet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was a blind test to see if the AI could independently make the same discovery.
Wow, so they were testing if it could actually make a genuine scientific discovery on its own. What happened?
The AI, with no prior knowledge of their findings, was able to rediscover the mechanism.
No way.
Yeah, it shows that this isn't just regurgitating information.
Yeah.
It's learning from research and potentially accelerating future discoveries.
Okay, now I'm really starting to see the possibilities here. This could change how we approach scientific research in a big way.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to talk about both its potential and its limitations.
Right, because even with all this amazing potential, we need to approach this technology responsibly.
Yeah.
So what is Google doing to make sure this AI co-scientist is developed ethically and used for good?
Well, they're actively working on improving things like fact-checking and bias detection.
Which is super important.
Absolutely. And they've also launched a trusted tester program,
Okay.
inviting research organizations from all over the world to participate and give feedback.
So it's not just Google working on this in isolation, they're actively getting input from the scientific community.
Exactly. It highlights the fact that this tech, while powerful, is still in its early stages.
Yeah.
There's so much more to learn and explore.
I'm so excited to see where this goes. The possibilities are incredible.
They really are. But remember, this is a tool designed to augment human ingenuity, not replace it.
Absolutely, it's all about collaboration. Okay, so we've talked about what this AI co-scientist is, how it works, and even seen some real-world examples of its potential. Now, let's shift gears and focus on the possibilities. If this technology continues to advance at this pace, what might the future of scientific discovery look like? What breakthroughs might be possible that we can't even imagine today?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with AI co-scientists.
Uh-huh.
One area where we might see some truly transformative breakthroughs is in personalized medicine. Imagine a world where your doctor could use an AI co-scientist to analyze your unique genetic makeup, your lifestyle, your medical history.
Wow.
And develop a treatment plan that's perfectly tailored to you.
So no more one-size-fits-all medicine?
Exactly. It would be like having a personalized health concierge.
That sounds amazing.
Right.
But what about right now? What can researchers do today to start working with AI co-scientists?
The first thing is to embrace a collaborative mindset. These systems aren't meant to replace scientists.
Right.
They're designed to be partners working alongside humans.
So it's about finding ways to leverage their strengths along with human expertise.
Exactly. And practically speaking, there are a growing number of tools and platforms available that let researchers interact with AI co-scientists.
Okay, so there are pathways for scientists to start experimenting.
There are, but one of the most important things is to define research goals clearly.
Okay.
Identify how an AI co-scientist can help achieve those goals. What are the bottlenecks, the challenges they're facing?
So be strategic about how they use this tech.
Exactly. And it's also important to remember that AI co-scientists are not magic. They're incredibly powerful tools, but still just tools. Human researchers need to interpret results, draw conclusions, and make decisions.
The human element is still crucial.
It is. It's not about blindly following the AI's recommendations.
Yeah.
It's about using it as a guide, a catalyst for new ideas and discoveries.
Right. And as we get more comfortable working with them.
I think we'll see a shift in how science is done.
Uh-huh.
We might move away from the traditional model of individual labs working in isolation towards a more collaborative approach, with AI co-scientists connecting different teams and facilitating knowledge sharing.
So instead of silos, a more interconnected web of scientific collaboration facilitated by AI.
Exactly. And I think that could lead to a much faster pace of discovery and innovation.
I am incredibly excited to see how this all unfolds. It feels like we're on the brink of a new era in scientific exploration, one where the possibilities are truly endless.
They really are. It's an exciting time to be in science.
It is. This AI co-scientist is clearly capable of so much, but are there any limitations to what it can do?
It's important to remember that this AI, while incredibly powerful, is still a tool. It's not a magic bullet that can solve every scientific problem or replace human ingenuity altogether.
Okay.
There are definitely areas where it falls short.
Could you give us some examples of where the AI might struggle? Or where human scientists still have the upper hand?
Sure. One area where the AI co-scientist might face limitations is in understanding and incorporating complex ethical considerations into its research process.
So while it can analyze data and generate hypotheses,
it might not fully grasp the ethical implications of certain research directions or applications. Ethical decision-making often requires nuanced judgment, a deep understanding of human values, and the ability to weigh potential benefits against risks. These are all areas where human scientists are still crucial.
It's like the AI can provide the raw ingredients.
Yes.
But it's up to human scientists to combine them in a way that's both scientifically sound and ethically responsible.
Exactly. Another area where the AI might struggle is in dealing with truly novel or unexpected scientific discoveries. You see, AI systems are trained on existing data and knowledge, so they might have difficulty interpreting phenomena that fall outside of their training set.
So if the AI encounters something truly groundbreaking or paradigm-shifting,
it might not have the conceptual framework to understand it.
Interesting.
In these cases, human scientists, with their ability to think creatively and outside the box, would be essential for interpreting the findings and developing new theories to explain them.
So it's like the AI can help us explore the known world.
Yes.
But it's up to human scientists to venture into the unknown.
Exactly. And finally, it's important to remember that the AI co-scientist, as advanced as it is still a product of human design. It reflects the biases and limitations of its creators. And it's only as good as the data it's trained on.
So even though it might seem objective and unbiased, it could still be influenced by the assumptions and limitations of the humans who created it.
That's right. That's why it's so important to have diverse teams of scientists and engineers working on these AI systems, representing a wide range of perspectives and backgrounds.
Diversity of thought is essential for ensuring that the AI co-scientist is as objective and unbiased as possible.
Precisely. And it also highlights the importance of ongoing critical evaluation and oversight of these systems. We can't simply assume that the AI knows best.
Human judgment and expertise are still essential for guiding the development and application of this powerful technology.
Absolutely. It's about finding the right balance between leveraging the strengths of AI and retaining the critical role of human scientists in the research process.
Well, this has been an incredibly insightful discussion. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of the potential and the challenges of AI co-scientists. What are your final thoughts on this emerging field and its implications for the future of science?
I believe we're at a really crucial point. We're on the edge of a truly transformative era in scientific discovery, one where AI co-scientists will play an increasingly important role. But the key to success lies in embracing a collaborative approach, one where humans and AI work together, leveraging each other's strengths, to unlock new knowledge and solve the world's most pressing problems.
Beautifully said. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this fascinating deep dive into the world of AI co-scientists.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think about all the things AI co-scientists might be able to do. We've already seen what they can do with drug discovery and material science, but I think we're just getting started.
It does feel like we're on the verge of a whole new era of science.
Totally. And it's understandable to feel a little apprehensive about such a big change.
It is a little daunting,
But I think the important thing is to remember that this is a journey we're all taking together, humans and AI working side by side to see what's possible.
I like that. So what are some areas where you see these AI co-scientists making a big difference in the near future?
One that comes to mind right away is climate change. I think AI could revolutionize how we model and understand our planet's climate system.
So they could help us make better predictions about future climate change.
Exactly. And those predictions would be crucial for making policy decisions and coming up with effective strategies.
That makes sense. So how would that work?
Well, AI co-scientists could analyze huge amounts of data. From satellites, weather stations, all sorts of sources. and use that data to create much more sophisticated climate models.
And those models could help us do what exactly?
Well, they could help us identify tipping points, predict extreme weather events more accurately,
Wow.
and even assess how well different climate interventions would work.
It's like having a superpowered weather forecaster,
Yeah,
but for the whole planet decades into the future.
that's a great way to put it. And it's not just about prediction either. AI could also help us develop and test new technologies for actually mitigating climate change.
Okay, so what kind of technologies are we talking about?
Things like carbon capture and storage, new renewable energy technologies, even geoengineering solutions. These are all complex problems that need a lot of modeling and analysis, and AI could help us speed up the development and optimization of those technologies.
So AI wouldn't just help us understand the problem, it would actually help us find solutions.
Exactly. And this kind of approach, this collaboration between humans and AI, could be applied to other global challenges too.
Like what?
Pandemics, food security, access to clean water.
You're saying AI could help us tackle some of the biggest problems humanity is facing.
I think so, yeah. It could help us develop new vaccines, better agricultural practices, more efficient water filtration systems. The possibilities are pretty incredible.
It is mind-boggling to think about. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about something a little more cosmic. How might AI co-scientists change your understanding of the universe?
Astrophysics, my favorite.
Yeah.
This is a field that's just ripe for AI to come in and shake things up.
In what way?
Well, AI co-scientists could analyze all the data coming from telescopes and other instruments and identify patterns and anomalies that human astronomers might miss.
So they could help us make new discoveries about distant galaxies, black holes.
Exactly.
Maybe even find evidence of extraterrestrial life.
Exactly. Imagine an AI going through all the data from the James Webb Space Telescope and finding a signal that suggests there's an advanced civilization out there.
Wow, that would be something else. But even beyond those big discoveries, AI could also play a more subtle role in astrophysics.
Absolutely. It could help us refine our understanding of fundamental physics.
Okay.
Model the evolution of galaxies over billions of years, even test theories about the Big Bang.
So it's not just about finding new things out there, it's about getting a deeper understanding of how the universe actually works.
Exactly. And this really gets to the heart of what makes these AI co-scientists so transformative.
Yeah.
They're not just tools for crunching numbers. They're partners in helping us ask better questions, explore new frontiers, and ultimately expand what we know about the universe.
It's like they're giving us a whole new way to see the universe, revealing connections we might never have found on our own. But with all this potential comes some risks and challenges too, right?
Of course, and one of the most important things is to make sure the development and use of AI co-scientists is guided by ethics.
So what are some of the ethical concerns we need to be thinking about?
Well, one concern is the potential for bias in AI systems, as we've talked about before.
Right.
If an AI is trained on biased data, it could perpetuate those biases in its outputs, leading to distorted research findings.
And potentially harmful applications.
Exactly. So we need to be very careful about the data used to train these systems and monitor them constantly to make sure they're not showing unintended biases.
What about the impact on the role of human scientists? Are we in danger of becoming obsolete in this new era of AI-driven research?
I don't think so at all. In fact, I think the opposite is true.
Really?
Yeah, as AI co-scientists get more advanced, the need for human expertise and creativity will only increase.
So instead of replacing scientists, AI will actually make them even more important.
Exactly. Human scientists will be needed to guide the research, interpret the results, and make sure this technology is being used ethically.
So it's a new kind of partnership. A synergy between human ingenuity and artificial intelligence.
Precisely. And this partnership has the potential to lead to a golden age of scientific discovery, with breakthroughs that could change our world in profound ways.
So we've talked about the potential of AI co-scientists to address big challenges like climate change and disease, and even unraveling the mysteries of the universe. But can you give us some concrete examples of how AI is already being used in research today?
Absolutely. One area where we're seeing a lot of progress is materials science.
Okay.
For example, researchers at Northwestern University are using AI to help discover new materials for solar cells.
So using AI to make solar panels more efficient and affordable.
Exactly. These AI systems can analyze huge databases of material properties and use machine learning algorithms to predict which combinations of elements are most likely to make efficient solar cells.
That's like having a virtual chemist that can test thousands of materials without even setting foot in the lab.
That's a great way to put it. And the same approach is being used in other areas of materials science too, like developing better batteries for electric cars and stronger building materials.
So AI is already helping us create a more sustainable future. What about other fields like medicine or biology?
Lots of exciting things happening there too. In drug discovery, AI is being used to identify potential drug candidates for all sorts of diseases.
Okay.
For example, there's a company called In Silico Medicine that's using AI to develop new drugs for cancer and aging.
Wow.
These AI systems can analyze massive amounts of data about molecular structures, biological pathways, and clinical trial results to identify promising drug targets and predict whether a new drug will be effective and safe.
So instead of spending years testing millions of compounds in a lab, they can let AI do the initial screening.
Exactly, and narrow down the search to the most promising candidates.
That makes a lot of sense, and I imagine it could save a lot of time and money too.
It does, and this approach has already led to the discovery of several new drug candidates that are currently in clinical trials.
That's really impressive. And it's not just about speed and cost either.
Yeah.
AI could also make new treatments more accessible to people around the world.
Absolutely. And in genomics, AI is being used to analyze huge sets of genetic information to find disease-causing genes and develop personalized treatments.
Okay.
For example, a company called Dup Genomics is using AI to develop therapies for genetic diseases.
How does that work?
Well, these AI systems can predict how genetic mutations affect the structure and function of proteins.
Okay.
And then design drugs that specifically target those mutations.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to medicine, we're moving towards treatments that are tailored to each person's unique genetic makeup.
Exactly. And this has the potential to revolutionize healthcare, making treatments more effective and reducing side effects. It's another example of how AI is pushing the boundaries of science.
This is all so fascinating. It really seems like AI is changing how we approach research in almost every field. But what are some of the challenges that researchers are facing when they work with these AI systems?
One of the biggest challenges is making sure that the data used to train these AI systems is high quality and unbiased.
Right, because AI algorithms are only as good as the data they were trained on.
Exactly. If the data is flawed or biased, the AI's outputs will be flawed or biased too.
So it's not just about giving the AI as much data as possible. It's about being very selective about the data we use.
Absolutely. Another challenge is understanding how these AI models work.
Okay.
Sometimes they can be like black boxes. We don't always know how they came to their conclusions.
All right, so even if the AI comes up with a brilliant insight, if we don't understand how it got there, it's hard to trust it or build on that knowledge.
Exactly. And that's why there's a whole field of research focused on making AI models more transparent, so researchers can understand how the AI is thinking.
So transparency is key. What about the role of human expertise in all of this? Are scientists going to become obsolete as AI gets more powerful?
Not at all. I actually think human expertise is more important than ever.
Really?
Yeah, AI co-scientists are powerful tools, but they're still just tools. They can't replace the creativity, critical thinking, and intuition that are essential for good science.
So it's not about AI versus humans. It's about humans and AI working together as partners.
Exactly, and I think that's the most exciting part of this whole field. We're seeing a new kind of collaboration between humans and machines.
Yeah.
One that could lead to scientific breakthroughs that were unimaginable before.
We've talked about the potential, the real-world stuff, even the limitations. But now I want to really look ahead. What could the future of science look like with this tech?
It's a really exciting question. Imagine AI so integrated into research that it's like an extension of our own minds.
So not just tools, but collaborators.
Yeah.
Like colleagues almost.
Yeah, exactly. Bouncing ideas back and forth, challenging assumptions, working together to design experiments. A true partnership between human and artificial intelligence.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But would it change the very nature of scientific discovery?
I think it's inevitable that how we do science will change. We might see a shift towards more data-driven research, more computational approaches. Because AI is so good at analyzing huge data sets, finding patterns we might miss.
So instead of relying on intuition or trial and error, we'd have AI pointing us in the right direction.
Exactly. And that could make discoveries happen much faster. Imagine AI finding drug candidates, designing new materials, modeling complex systems like the climate.
Wow, that's a huge change. But what about human creativity, those aha moments? Will there still be a place for that in science?
Absolutely. In fact, I think human creativity will be even more important because the better our tools, the bigger our goals can be.
So instead of replacing scientists, AI frees us up to think bigger, solve harder problems.
Exactly. Less time on data crunching, more time on hypotheses, experiments, interpreting results.
AI handles the mechanics, humans focus on the art of science.
I love that. And this shift could lead to incredible breakthroughs. Personalized medicine, sustainable energy, unlocking the secrets of the human brain.
Those are some big goals, but we're not quite there yet.
Of course not. We still have challenges, like making sure these AI systems are unbiased and transparent. And there are bigger societal challenges, too.
Like what?
Well, as AI gets more powerful, we have to think about who has access to it, how it's used, make sure the benefits are shared, and don't just make existing inequalities worse.
So it's not just the tech itself, but its impact on society.
Exactly. We need to consider the ethics, the unintended consequences, the need for transparency and accountability.
So it's a balance between pushing innovation and making sure it's responsible innovation.
Precisely. And it will take a lot of discussion and collaboration between scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public.
This has been a really thought-provoking look at AI, co-scientists, the tech, and the bigger questions. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. We hope this deep dive has got you thinking about the future of science in the age of AI. Remember, the possibilities are huge, and it's up to all of us to shape this future responsibly. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing those boundaries.